Good morning. Mark is behind me. We came down here yesterday and worked on 4 beaver dams. We got a beaver problem. This is what we do here on Addison Ranch on vacation. This is the 4th one we've done today. Okay, so this is I'm just gonna say the next one down, but you can see what they're doing. This is the main kind of slough that runs down through this thing. And you know, they don't have this one up very far. It's a couple feet maybe. But I mean, you can look out in the timber and this goes out, you can see the heifers walking over there, but see how it's flooding all this? It's just like you were flooding for ducks or something. You duck hunters know what it looks like, and the beavers do it naturally. And sometimes you want it and it's okay and you let them do it, but when they start taking up pasture that's productive and you're still recovering from a drought, you don't really want them doing it. So we're battling them a little bit, but I think we got the upper hand. That tree right there is an old willow, and you can see how they're starting to work on that thing on the side. They are an amazing animal. Amazing animal. Mark says he thinks it'd be more fun just to sit over there with a gun.
Definitely be easier.
The beavers are damming up this little slough all along the side of this bottomland pasture, and so they're flooding the pasture. And so we were trying to kind of get a little ahead of them, and Mark kind of did this last one. I saved the hardest one for him yesterday. And he did it down here, so we came down here first thing to see if they started on it, trying to get it fixed back. There's their hut right over there. So we're gonna look and see what they got done here. It's not running like it was, so they have worked on it. Yeah, they worked on it a little bit, but they didn't get as much done as we did. Hey, you got a lot out, but they did work on it a little bit. Let's get them behind schedule.
Look at that. They clawed that sucker up.
That's all right. We can put it right back.
That is amazing.
So what time did we finish yesterday? It was around 4:30. Yeah, that's stuff that didn't wash on down. Well, maybe they might have pulled it back up from down there. See, they're sending stuff down there to slow it a little right there. Yeah, let's get it back open.
That is amazing.
Did you stretch?
You plugged her up. I wonder how long it took them to do that.
That depends on how many there were.
I mean, they stopped that sucker completely.
Remember, we said they were probably going to use reeds because they're right here handy, and that's exactly what they did. But you can see how far down it dropped still. You know, this was, yeah, this was probably up to where that moss is. And so it's down a foot and a half, maybe.
That is amazing.
So let's get back ahead of them.
That goose up on top.
She's on that. She's over there on that hut. All right. We upgraded our shovel too, so. let's just get it running.
Oh! Yeah, it's oh! There's a big one there.
That's one they floated in, isn't it? Oh, wow. Wow, I'm behind you, coming across. When you get old like us, it's better if you can kind of tag team something like this. It's real hard for one guy to do it all. Of course, Mark did 99% of it yesterday. Yeah, you can look at those reeds and it's real easy to see how high the water was. It's brown at the bottom of those reeds there.
Look how much.
Yeah.
I mean, they moved hundreds of pounds.
What we're doing here is while one guy's working, the other guy is on guard. There went something right there, man. Is on guard because those beavers, they're not going to come up here and attack you, but they may give you a heart attack when they slap that tail. We haven't had any yet, but they just now found out last night that we were on to this big one. There's a big thing of moss. When we get done here, Mark is going to walk over there to that hut and check that goose's nest and just make sure it's okay. And of course, I'm going to film it. So if y'all have ever watched me do this on the bio, I was telling Mark the maximum amount of time that it took me to stop the beavers damming it up was 3 days. None of them would go over 3 days. Very few would make it after the first time I busted it out. Well, this is day 2, and y'all saw when I got here, they built it back all the way across right here. And so it's going to be interesting to see how these are different over here. And I think most of it is because they have a finite amount of area they can do. You know, that river over there, it runs all the way from, you know, 15 miles to the north all the way to the Red River. But here, this is just an area where they just started building this dike up and then holding water like a pond. And then they would slowly drop the level as it goes down that way. And what they're doing is they're making it flood out like they do, and it's flooding. You can see my heifers back there. It's flooding the pastures. It's keeping them really wet. So when you have rain, it even makes it that much worse. They're already a kind of a bottomland wet pasture, but with water right there on the edge and expanding out into it, it just makes it worse. So this is one of those things that I'm going to try to keep up with. And Mark is just here for a little while. And he thought he was, like I said, he thought he was on vacation. But I told him that we had a fitness area when he came. I said, yeah, we got weights and all that kind of stuff to work out. And so here we are. First thing this morning, we're working out. How's the workout, Mark?
Breathtaking.
Cardio, back, bicep, tricep, chest.
I'm not used to that cardio.
Oh shoot, I'm just glad there's more than me here. This makes it a lot easier. Truth be told, I probably would have already given up. So yesterday, like I said, we started late. And so it didn't get to run very long before the beavers came out and started doing their thing. They like to come out at night. So with this morning, we came down here first thing before we went to the goats and the guard dogs and any of that stuff. We just came straight down here. And just number one, to see if they had it built back, and number two, if they did, to get it back running so it could run all day. Because I think if it runs all day, it's going to be close to draining this whole thing. And there's not a big creek running into it. All right, my partner's about gave out. Now that he's got it all done, I'm going to see if I can finish it off.
You need to get that deeper.
Okay, I'll do it. Remember I said it's the most it's ever taken on us is 3 days to kind of get ahead of the beavers where they stop damming it back. This is day 3. That's where we stopped yesterday. You can see they didn't add anything here. Golly, that's wet. You can tell they've cut some stuff back there and let it drift in, trying to get it started. But as far as going across with it, they hadn't done anything. So I'm gonna get these right here out of the way, and then I'm gonna go downstream and check the very far one, because we got over 2 inches of rain last night. And this stuff has got to go somewhere, otherwise it's just going to continue to make that pasture where those heifers are, you know, standing water. So let's see what we can do here. We're gonna go way on downstream and check that last one and make sure it's coming on out. Most of this stuff that's running in right here is from the rain. So let's head on down. Well, this is the second to the next one. I already looked at the far one, and the next one, this is the third one. And they have, it looks like they've floated some maybe in here a little bit, but I'm going to see if I can open this one up a little bit more and let it come out a little faster. So I won't bore you with the details here, but I'm going to work on this for a minute. Okay, I'm on number 7 dam. I got to this far end downstream pool, and they had it rebuilt where we had busted the very first one, Mark and I, and this pool, this big pool, just wasn't moving real fast, but now it's moving a little bit better. But I figured out there has to be another one down here somewhere, and I think this is it right here. Yes, I can see it through the trees. There's one right here that's pretty tall. So this one right here ought to just flat open the sucker up. Let's get over here. Oh yeah, it's a foot and a half tall. Oh. I say it is. It's running around it, but if I can kind of get that loose where the whole thing's running, it'll be able to drain it quicker. Now, granted, we're dealing with all this rain that's been coming in also. I am thankful that it's cold, because that probably means the moccasins are not as prevalent as they would be normally. So this one I think will be an easy one.
I think this is just one that's just, now the beavers could have directed the timber. You guys that haven't dealt with beavers, you may think how they get all these sticks here. Well, they will drag some of them upstream. But what they do is they cut them and then they just turn them loose and they just direct them and let them float down and catch. And then they start from that. Then they'll start plucking, you know, cattails over in that one spot, and they'll put some there. Then they'll get some mud and pack it and pack it and pack it. And they'll just keep doing that until they get it covered. So let's see if we can't get this busted a little bit. I guess as long as the wind doesn't blow, you might see something. Hopefully it's not me falling in. Oh, see, this is just loose stuff that's caught. This is exactly what they're wanting to happen. Then they'll come start packing it when they finally get into it. Ooh, that's deep too. You know, I'm gonna act just like a beaver. I'm gonna send that stuff downstream. You just thought it was other stuff that went downstream. It's actually brush, dead limbs, trees. Look at that. It's just gonna run right on down. That's good. See, this opened it up right here. Another tree coming though that's gonna block it. That opened it up though. It's running now. See, the beavers, probably what's happening is we've got them so busy upstream that this may just be brush that's just caught here on its own. And it's just a nice spot. And I don't know, that may be how they kind of pick a spot when they go to set up. They just go down through there and they say, oh yeah, stuff is catching right there after a rain, so they start building. But it is deep right here. I'll give it that. Come on, baby. It just went right. This is deep right here, boy. I'll put that on that side. Wait a minute. That tree won't hold it. It's still running pretty good. Let's go on around and see what we got. See, all that stuff I just pushed out, a lot of it, caught right here. And they'll use it to their advantage for sure. And I can't move that big willow that's in the creek there. It's deep. I can see it still running. It's looping around up there. I better get my four-wheeler and drive it. I lost a four-wheeler in here one time. It's back when those cattails back there on that pool were, I don't know, they were probably 8 feet. And I was driving cattle out of here, and my four-wheeler got hot on me. Well, I got mad because it had taken me a while to get them kind of going the direction and how I wanted them to go. So I just walked off and left it. It was getting hot. And I finished on foot, driving them on foot. And by the time I was done, I was really mad and tired. And, you know, when you're like that, you do something stupid. And so I just said, I'll get it later. Well, it ended up being quite a bit later. And stuff had grown up on it, and I couldn't find the stupid thing. I was still mad at it because it got hot on me, but anyway, I eventually found it and had world's greatest help me drag it out. But the things we do when we let anger get in our way, huh? All right, let me get around the corner here and see what else I got. Okay, I made it all the way around. That timber started getting too thick. I couldn't get through there. But I basically just cut around and got down here to where it should be running, and it's still rolling on here. So I'm going to make one more swing around. Let's see, where am I? Oh yeah, no, that's it's running into Simon. It's still rolling, so Simon's just right over there. So we're good. We're good for now. We'll have to keep an eye on it and continue this because this rain is going to give them flow on the top end. Whereas before this, they had no flow. It was just from an artesian well that kind of is across the street on the neighbors. And it would just kind of keep it wet. And so then when you got a little rain, it'd fill up. And so we were able to get ahead of it pretty quick. But now it's going to be tough. So I'm going to have to continue to watch it here, even though 3 days on a beaver, 3 days. Now, you guys, if you're up north or somewhere else where it takes longer than 3 days, let me know. I'm curious about that, or if that's kind of the going time on that deal. If you get a dam kind of busted where it's running, 3 days. Let me know. This is what's stopping the water. Uh-oh, it is coming up quick. So I'm gonna get on across this thing. Right up there is where that other creek runs in to this big one. So that's where that water's coming in. So it's coming up really fast. We're gonna get out of here and wait.